The roar of the V8s hits Queensland Raceway, and a brilliant start for Marcus Ambrose on home turf. In fact, Mark Scaife on the front row with him will be beaten to the first quarter by his teammate Todd Kelly, who sliced through. Stephen Richards with a great start as well, and Ingle hunting them down from just behind the top four.
Scaife made a reasonable jump initially and then bogged it down, but chaos at turn 2 or on the 1 into 2. And you can see that somebody's buried right in the middle of the pack there. 4 or 5 cars involved, and this will be a safety car. Bow and Murphy. Remember, Murphy was a long way down. Dale Breed's in there as well, and I think that's Stephen Ellery in the background. And we have gone full course yellow on the opening lap of this 90-lap journey. So there is Ellery, confirmed, and Murphy. Greg.
Guys, just quickly, Stephen Ellery's already been on the radio to the team. He's claiming that Bow moved across on him on the run into the turn, and that's what's perhaps kicked this whole thing off.
There's some anger in those cockpits. Interesting point, though, Neil. When they went off, tremendous amount of dust from a very dry infield and indeed outfield here, which means that some of the guys would have been obscured as they went round. If one car goes off,
it's like a desert out there at the moment. And in fact, we've seen evidence of fires over the weekend with people going off the road. And huge damage to John Bow's car, the front right, very second-hand.
That is such a shame because he has not been up the front of the field after qualifying too often. Let's have another look.
Scaife made an ordinary start. Todd goes through. Stephen Richards slots in, and Russell was lurking around looking for a way through, and so was Jason Bright. But it was further down the order. Look for John Bow. And yes, John Bow makes contact with Ellery, and then the rest of the paddock all ducking every which way. And when you're buried in the middle of that, Billy, you don't know what you're dealing with. There's cars going everywhere, and Breed actually manages to go off the road and clouts Ellery. Another replay here, and you can see that they're all looking for a way around the mess, and there's just nowhere to go in the middle of the pack, and it just triggers one of those awkward shunts. And with that much dust and smoke flying, you can't see. Greg?
Right, here we go. 1 and 2 in the championship. A 1 and 2 on the grid. Courtney a winner yesterday for Ford. Can Whincup respond? Waiting for the start. And Whincup's got it nailed initially. Lowndes is running as well. And again, that was Holdsworth. He was slow away yesterday. Contact, Winterbottom into the fence. Heavy contact and heavy damage.
It's a big crash. Will trigger a safety car.
At the entrance of turn 1, just to hold.
Voice of race director Tim Schenken, Mark Winterbottom moving in the car.
Safety car boards and flags, safety car boards and flags. Safety car, just move around the corner onto the start of the straight, just 60 kilometres an hour. Actually 40, correction, 40 kilometres an hour.
We'll see some vision at the start at some stage because he basically stopped. He was parked up, and there were cars coming past him, and often that actually creates the 2 or 3 abreast scenario. There he is right there.
He's clouded the left rear of Mark Winterbottom's car, and he's gone in a fair clip of speed there. That'd be, at that point, he was probably at about 160 kilometres an hour already from a standing start.
So we can see there, this is the parked car. Steve Johnson did a very good job to get round.
And here's the contact coming up momentarily.
Now.
Bang. It turns Mark hard left, 45 degrees to the wall. Looks pretty spectacular, but it's not a really bad biff. And bad news for these guys, for Campbell Little, for Tim Edwards at Ford Performance Racing. And you can tell by the look on Tim's face, he knows what all that means. It's just punishing. And it's been a punishing weekend for pace as well. Here it is again from another angle. And Frosty just trying to sneak down the inside. There seemed like a lot of space, and for some reason they've hooked up and away he's gone. Now, what it does is it underlines the point we made before the start of the race. Sprint tyre, heavy fuel, hard to get off the line. That's what happened to lead.
Absolutely.
Frosty's day's done. Whincup's the leader from Courtney, Lowndes and Van Gisbergen. Tander's up to 5th under safety car in Queensland.
Ready for the reverse grid here at Queensland Raceway. Ellery and Marshall fairly even. Paul Morris had a great jump on the inside, heading down into 1. Look for him in car 67, but it's Marshall for Paul Cruikshank Racing, takes the lead into turn 1.
Oh, trouble already at turn 1. Will Davison's gone around. That's Jason Richards touring the paddock. Stephen Johnson as well. Notice they're all heading for the grass verge.
Lowndes is there near. Lowndes is that last car, it looked like, behind Stephen Johnson.
Gary Rogers' car tripped up in the middle of it all. Looks like they may have all escaped. Somebody else has beached, though. That'll be a problem which will trigger a safety car if the car can't be removed from that spot. Turn 3. Big problem there for Paul Dumbrell. Massive damage on the left front.
Mate, have you got any steering at all?
And the answer from Paul.
Some, but I'm trying to keep the left-hand wheels on the grass so I don't damage the tyre.
Yeah, okay, no worries. I can see you doing that.
Good thinking from Paul Dumbrell, who is wounded. That car is wounded on the opening lap of race 2. Mayhem down at turn 1. Will we see the safety car deployed? Marcus Marshall is the race leader.
I think that car's been removed, Lee, so I don't know that that's now going to be an issue. So we come around to end lap 1. A scattering of the pack at turn 1 off the start. You better not flinch. He's got those front wheels right on the white line mark, Scaife, and if you penetrate that line, and that can be catastrophic.
Scaife is 5th in the championship. Whincup is 4th. They share the front row of the grid for race 1 of round 7. The halfway mark of the V8 Supercar Championship, and the old campaigner Scaife got the edge that time. He'll take the lead down to turn 1, muscling his way through his Garth Tander, who gives a bit of push and shove to Whincup. They've bashed him around the ears from pole position, and Jamie Whincup goes from 1st to 3rd.
There was trouble at turn 1, and the safety car is being told to get ready. So I saw one of the Jack Daniels cars all crossed up in the dirt there. Scaife leads, Tander's in behind, Whincup drops back to 3rd. There's still some carry on down at 2. They may have all got out of that one.
One of the Tasman Motorsport cars was in there. Good start by Scaife, really good. And Tander was just Mr. Aggressive. Here's Rick Kelly. Started in 8th position.
He's made some ground there. So Tander made a pretty handsome start. Whincup definitely slow away. They sat there for a while. It seems like an eternity when all those cars are sitting there rattling away on the rev limiter.
Around they go. A little bit of argy-bargy for Paul Morris. By my reckoning, may have made up some room himself after starting 20th. Oh, there's another bit of push and shove for Todd Kelly and one of the Valvoline Cummins cars. In fact, the other one has got trouble. So Dean Canto and Lee Holdsworth both in the thick of it. Smoke billowing out the back of the Gary Rogers Motorsport car.
Safety car. We could have a safety car here for Steve Owen. We will have a safety car. Out come the SC boards. The yellow flags are flying. The car is well beached.
That's a turn 1. That's right down there in front of the big crowd that's building down there, and it has been building all weekend. It's an awesome place to watch. So, yeah, he's gone in through turn 1 and shot across. The marks behind him, clear evidence. So, thankfully, he stopped before the wall. And I'm pretty sure that that was his out lap from his pit stop. So Steve Owen in the Autobahn entry. This will hopefully explain it at turn 1. Shoots wide. Now it's a matter of holding on. And the gravel does its job.
At that stage, it's a bit hard to see. He might have been forced wide by other cars, and it's very dirty offline down there, or maybe they had a problem with a wheel.
Look at his mirror dangling off. He's had a little rub on the side there somewhere. Just how far back it goes, you never know.
It's very difficult on the pit lane exit here to see oncoming cars, and if you do end up being pushed wide down there, it's very dirty offline.
Under safety car conditions, let's take a break.
Look at Richards up the inside.
Stephen Richards takes the battle from turn 6 up to turn 1 and slides in front of Mark Scaife. Contact, they're gone. Both of them off the track, and Rick Kelly too.
I think the pit lane window was actually called as being open then, but I'm not sure that it will remain so, depending on how much debris is down there. Rick Kelly is out now of the gravel trap. Fastest sector split for Mark Winterbottom, and they've stood down the safety car again from the standby position.
Is this the weekend that Lowndes' charge towards another title begins? He's certainly well and truly on track now. So Lowndes will lead them down to turn 1. Slade slots in. Good start from David Reynolds.
Great start from Davey Reynolds, and out wide and really struggling there was Will Davis, and Lee Holdsworth rotated at turn 1. He grabs it before it gets bogged. Not good when you're out in the weeds there and cold tyres at the start.
This is not over. This is, here we go, straight down into turn 3. We see drama here all the time, and you just stand back, you think this got to be contact. There's always a concertina, and they get through remarkably. And here's Whincup out of the pits, so starting from the back of the grid. He'll be banking on a safety car now at some point in this race as Lowndes leads from Slade from Reynolds. Great start, Dave Reynolds. Jason Bright, Shane Van Gisbergen. That's your top 5. It's pretty busy in mid-pack there. Here's the start.
Watch Davey.
And that's a great start from the outside. Dave Reynolds pulls across to the inside and makes ground on Slade down to the first corner and takes that position from Jason Bright. Van Gisbergen sneaks under the inside of Coulthard, and that's the contact between Fiore and Holdsworth. He rotates again. He'll be another guy looking for a safety car, and that was a big moment. That was the one we called. Will Davison right out in the boonies, and he did well not to get bogged.
I think he had contact again with the Jim Beam car he did yesterday, but I'm just not 100% sure who it was.
The bumping duel continues. Dave Reynolds has just lost position after position based on that first lap. So Lowndes, great job on the first lap to do the sort of start that you need to apply and win that battle. Oh, what happened there? Turn left weirdly then. Caruso, that was strange.
Must be
Don't park there, Dave.
That was quite bizarre, wasn't it? So Reynolds struggled on the opening lap, and he's got damage there now. May not be able to actually move that thing. So here we go back in turn 3, and Lowndes just opened that margin slightly again over Winterbottom.
It's live. This is the Coates Hire Ipswich Super Sprint. First of 3 races is go for the weekend. Has Frosty got the jump on his teammate? They run down to 1 for the first time, and the Volvo's in fact moved into 2nd position. Great job by Scott McLaughlin. Look at the way that Van Gisbergen is hustling here too, fighting with Andre Heimgartner as they work through turn 2. Someone's off. It's Todd Kelly in the Jayco Altima.
Great velocity from Scott McLaughlin as well, but he was on the wrong side of the road out there where it gets pretty dirty pretty quick. And early in the race there you see Heimgartner up the front end, and then as the first few laps unfolded, he just ended up in the wrong space at the wrong time, and there is Todd Kelly going around. And it looks like that was Jason Bright that made contact with him. Just looking to the right-hand side of that picture at the moment. Yeah, so actually, I think Bright was a victim who was further down the order, and then they all did the concertina trick. Look at this stuff going on here between Mostert, who nailed the styrene sign, and Van Gisbergen.
So slippery conditions, especially for those on our left, their right. So who will get the advantage from this start? Chaz Mostert easily. And look at David Reynolds trying to snake his way through while Jamie Whincup went to the right-hand side and dropped a couple of tyres on the inside of the circuit. So the youngster Mostert fires through. Meanwhile, Alex Prema fires off with Russell Ingall behind him. Tim Slade, a good start as well. So Will Davison's gone from pole back to 3rd.